Hi there, it's Julie DiMatteo from thepaperpixie.com, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And in tonight's Facebook Live video, we're going to be making this super cute little Ghirardelli square treat holder, a Christmas version. Here is my Ghirardelli square treat holder. So on the back side, I've added a sentiment, wishing you a season of joy, a season of cheer, but most of all, a wonderful year. So super cute treat holder. For those of you that follow my blog, thepaperpixie.com, I made general swaps for our onstage event. And so I made these two different versions using the Eclectic Layers die, which is one of my favorite dies. And then on the back, we just put the sentiment, I couldn't have picked a better friend than you. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into the project. We're gonna start with a piece of Emerald Envy cardstock, and this measures 3.5 inches by 6 inches. Okay, I'm gonna bring out my Simply Scored, and the scoring measurements are the same both horizontally and vertically. And those measurements are 3/8, so that's real close to the edge here, 3/4, 2 3/4, and 3 1/8. Okay, then I'm gonna rotate it again, 3/8, 3/4, 2 3/4, and 3 1/8. Okay, hold that up a little bit closer to the camera there. You have those kind of grid lines, and you'll see that there are those vertical lines are towards the bottom. That's by design. Next thing I'm going to do is fold and burnish on the score lines. All right, so I'm going to bring in one of my famous templates here just so you can kind of picture what we're cutting away here, okay? So what I want you to try to picture here, first and foremost, is that we have our vertical lines towards the bottom of the design. And then, I'm not sure if you can see, but we've got 4 tabs. And I put little arrows so you could see that the tabs are going in this direction and in this direction, okay? So wherever you see these little scribbles and kind of darker areas, that's paper that we're gonna get rid of. So I'm just gonna leave this template out as I cut, because it might be easier for you to reference. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start cutting here. And then it'll be easier just for you to watch, and I'll try to explain as I go. As I'm cutting, I'm notching in just slightly for these little side tabs here. That just helps our box go together nicely. And I'm first going to create really those little tabs that I have on my template. And using those score lines as guides. Then on the tabs, I'm going to notch those in slightly as well. It's always helpful to reference the templates as you're cutting away. I made 100 of these for on stage, and I still every once in a while need to check the template. All right, so see how we've got those tabs pointing downwards. Okay, and then I've basically cut away those 3 corner squares. Those are gone, and then I notched in for those tabs. I'm gonna flip it around, and now we're gonna cut up, and we're removing these 2 sections on the outside. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut right up those score lines, cutting all the way to that second vertical score line, because this little square here is gonna be our tab. Whoops, I'm doing it backwards. That's gonna be our tab. So might as well just get rid of those 2 outside rectangles. Okay, just get rid of that paper. I'm gonna come in and notch slightly for this side tab. Then I'm gonna notch in this little tab. See that? All right, so we're going to repeat the same thing on the opposite side. Again, cutting up the second score line in all the way to the second score line second vertical score line. All right, so that is the majority of the cutting away. So let me hold it. See how we're doing that? We've got these two little tabs pointing this direction and this direction. Then these outer sections I've notched in just slightly. Okay, so now I'm going to round the corners of this section here, and that's just going to help us when we close our little treat holder. Those rounded corners are really going to make that a smooth closure. So what I do is, bringing out the envelope punch board, I'm going to fold in those two sides, and I'm just going to feed those into the corner rounder part of the envelope punch board. And rounding those edges there. Now we're going to take a little bit of a punch, and we're going to create, see this little notch right here? That's going to help our recipient get their finger in there to get that chocolate out without destroying the box. I'm just taking a little 1/2 inch circle punch. I'm going to fold in on that first score line, and then I like to punch upside down so I can see right where I'm punching. And I'm just going in, I don't know, about halfway into this. This is about a 3/8 of an inch size piece of paper, going in about halfway, and I'm centering it, kind of looking at these two sides to see that that's centered, and punching. And then we're going to have a little kind of, I don't know, oblong oval type shape there. Okay, that was with the 1/2 inch circle punch. Now I'm going to bring in the scalloped tag topper punch, my favorite punch of all time. We're going to go ahead and feed this longer section right into that scalloped tag topper punch. Gives us that really cool tag topper. So now before we go ahead and put the box together, let me bring in what our final treat holder is going to look like. And we're going to add this beautiful flower piece here. It almost looks like, because of the red background, it kind of looks like a poinsettia. So this comes from the Quilt Builder framelits dies. Now I have those out right now, but I love this set of framelits. It also does come bundled with the Christmas quilt. These two come bundled. We're not using the stamp set here, but you can get these two bundled together. So let me bring in my Big Shot. We're going to use the silver foil paper. Here's that die, by the way. It's got the outside flower. So that's what we're going to use to cut out the flower shape in the center there. And then there's an inside flower that nests that we will use to cut out the really pretty, intricate silver foil flower. So we'll do that in a second. I'm going to bring in my little piece here, and I'm just going to go ahead and, to the best of my ability, center this. This is a little 2" by 2" square section here, this interior section of score lines, okay? So I'm just gonna try to hold that into place and hope that it doesn't move. And then press that. All right, so as I'm pushing this through my Big Shot, I'm gonna hold that plate in place. Do not Big Shot your fingers, because that would really hurt. All right, so hopefully it didn't shift. There we go. All right, so there's our cutout. And save that beautiful Emerald Envy flower for another project. All right, so now we're gonna bring in the silver foil, and I've prepped this ahead of time. You're not really gonna be able to tell, but I've put some of our multi-purpose adhesive sheets on the back. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that one down. And then the inside piece, and sometimes it's easier to move the outside piece to get it right where you want it. Okay, and I'm looking at this from an angle. All right. Putting that in place, and again, holding that. And just pop out our pieces here. Okay, so you'll see that there's a little bit of strange texture to to that flower just from the pressure from the Big Shot. So all I'm going to do is take my bone folder, and this is a little bit of a foam surface that I'm on here, but I'm just going to kind of press and smooth out gently that piece. And because of all the, the pressure on the Big Shot, there's a little bit of, not wrinkles, but it kind of just has a little bit of texture to it that you may or may not want. So I just kind of smoothed it out. Now I'm probably not going to be able to show you. See how much nicer that looks? Okay, so we've done that piece. We've cut out our flower here. Now I've got a piece of real red that measures 1 15/16 by 1 15/16. And that is literally just one tick mark before the 2-inch mark. That's going to allow this to sit right inside that 2-inch square section, okay? Just going to use the liquid glue. I'm going to put a bead of glue just around the edge. Okay, and then I'm going to press that right into that 2-inch section here. See that? And then on the other side, you'll see this really cool window, okay? Now, because we use the multi-purpose adhesive sheet, I can just peel that backing off. I love this part. And it's as a sticker. So I can just place that right where I want it, and it should fit right inside that flower. And then I'll just use my bone folder to kind of press it into place. Amazing! Look at that. Easy peasy. Love it. All right. Now it's time for us to go ahead and put our box together. So what I like to do is I've got the scallop tag topper at the top, and then I'm going to start with these 2 tabs. We're going to glue them down. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on that tab. And that tab, we're going to take this score line here and line it up with this edge here. Okay? I'm going to hold that into place. Then we'll repeat on the opposite tab here. Again, just folding that in. That's going to start to shape our little box here. All right. Then on the inside, so we had those tabs here that we created. I'm going to put glue along those 2 tabs. Again, I'm just being light with the glue. And I can put on both sides real quick. Okay, so I'm going to start with one side at a time. I'm just bringing up this back to line up there. Now you can get 3 of these out of one piece of 8.5 by 11. So great to make multiples. Okay, so now let's flip to the back. So now is the time we're going to put in our chocolate. Just got a regular Ghirardelli square, and I like to kind of fold those side flaps on the chocolate to the front, and that just helps when you go to close the box that those little flaps don't get in the way. So we'll push in our little tabs just like a normal box. I think hopefully you can see that. And then fold in the back. That should go right in there. Look how cool that is. I love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish off this little treat holder. I'm going to grab one of our clear faceted gems. I'm going to pick up one of the smallest ones and stick that right in the center here for some added bling. Okay. And then we're going to use our beautiful silver metallic edge ribbon. I'm going to cut a 6-inch strip of ribbon here. Okay, and you'll know my Vera Bradley bows. I'm going to go ahead and feed this through the back. Take this, wrap it around the front, bring it to the back, through the back again, and then up underneath that loop. and then pull it snugly into place. And then we'll just trim off the ends here at an angle, trying not to cut our fingers off because these suckers are sharp. All right, let's go ahead and put a sweet sentiment on the back. So we're gonna use the stamp set Snowflake Sentiments. We're gonna use this Wishing You a Season of Joy sentiment. And I'm gonna go ahead and stamp that on Whisper White in Emerald Envy. So go ahead and punch that out. Okay, then I'm gonna grab a 2-inch circle punch and punch a real red circle. Then just using liquid glue. There we go. So just kind of a cool way to add a sentiment to the back. It's a little bit of a surprise there. But this would be just so cute to give out for the holidays or have on your Christmas dinner table for your guests, even just to hand out as random acts of kindness. So I love this project. I want you all to have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope you get to spend it with family and friends. And thank you all so much. You all have a wonderful and blessed day. Take care. Bye.